Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
This is TripleYourClients.com with your host, Andy Brown.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Expert marketing advice to triple your clients today.
Now you can start listening.
Welcome to episode 10 of TripleYourClients.com podcast. Today we're talking about business cards because I have just put my business card out there on Facebook. I don't know, maybe I'm showing off, I guess, but I'm pretty proud of my business card. Most people aren't actually. It's a kind of a piece of card and there's information on the front and the back and you give it out and who knows what happens to it when the other person gets to their desk. You know, does it go in the bin or does it go in some kind of folder for business cards? Who knows? Hopefully someone actually takes the details and puts it into a CRM system, but you never know. But the marketers like to think of things in a different way. You know, how are you going to hand over your card and actually make an impression and actually also provide some information that someone can refer to later on? So you make your business card an asset and also a tool, an educational tool that someone can actually use day to day. Now, how do you do that? Well, one thing I got from my friend Chris Marr, who's another marketer based in Fife, is you should put tips on your website, tips related to your industry that someone can refer to. And I'm actually going to run through the 15 tips I got on my business card. You can also find it on my Facebook as well. But I'm going to run through it now so that you can actually gain some information from these tips, but also realize the type of information that your business card should have. Now, my business card is actually 6 panels, 3 panels and then either side. So only if you go and have a look at it, like I say, you'll realize how the information is laid out. But 3 of the panels are used to set out these tips. And it says on my card, my 15 top tips for creating profitable marketing copy. And by that, I mean copy that you would put online or offline. Now, the essence is to give tips that actually make people think, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I should do that next time, rather than, just in a bullet piece, rather than actually do a long sentence, because otherwise your card's going to get very cluttered. So, and also variety, so that some tips people will just pass over and some actually will be interesting and they can use and actionable. So these are the 15 tips on my card, and I think you'll get some value from them. When you're writing profitable marketing copy, number 1, write a compelling headline. Also, number 2, always stress the benefits first. Number 3, feature social proof using photos. Number 4, keep your language simple. Number 5, write in the second person, so you will benefit from this rather than we have been established for so long. Number 6, make an irresistible offer. If you're going to put some copy out there, then let's have some purpose to it and actually put an offer out there that actually does get people's heads up and attention, rather than it being sort of pretty lame and bland and like everyone else. Number 7, include a strong call to action. So once you've got that irresistible offer, you tell them exactly what needs to be done and when. And when I say when, that's like number 8 tip, which is set a deadline to create urgency. You need to tell them when your offer is going to be over. Otherwise, people just put it down and say, oh, we'll look at it next weekend or next week. Number 9, avoid a cluttered design. You see so many pieces of copy and leaflets that come through that numerous different fonts and colors, and you really don't know where to put your attention. So you do need an uncluttered design. Number 10, use a landing page to build a list. This isn't always essential or relevant, but a lot of times when you're doing copy, if you do want to drive people to a website, don't drive them to your homepage, drive them to a specific page where they can enter your email to get the information you're providing to build a list. Because with a list, you then have the leverage to market back to them. Number 11, track the results, and you can do that using call and web technologies. And by that, I mean, you can put phone numbers in your copy that you can be tracked, or you've got web technology like Google Analytics to tell you where someone's gone after visiting the page. Number 12, determine your client avatar before writing. Too many people sit down to start their copy and it's like, we're going to write to the world, we're going to write to everyone. No, don't do that. Sit down, write a profile of who that person is, where they're educated, who they're married to, where they went to school, what kind of job they do, what kind of day they had, their lifestyle, how many children, how much they're earning. You kind of put this picture together, which could be 300 or 400 words that really describe this person, give them a name, and then you write to that person. And when you do that, your copy is much, much more powerful and relevant for someone who's reading it. Number 13, distribute strategically online and offline. So you probably realize now, particularly with social media, people are hanging out in these communities and they're not coming to your website as much. You now need to go out to these communities, be it Twitter, on Facebook, and hang out there. And so when you put your copy out there, the way you present it on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn is different. And that's what I mean by that. Number 14, enter the conversation in your client's mind. This is one of the fundamental principles of marketing, that when you reach out and you start your copy, it's always a good idea that you relate to the conversations and the problems that are going on in your customer's mind, rather than reaching out and saying, hey, look, I'm going to talk about this, which is completely irrelevant to your customer. You're going to have a hard time attracting them if you do that. Number 15, it's test, test, and test again. Clients come to me and say, can you give me proven strategies? Of course I can give them, and ones that worked in the past. But marketing isn't a kind of, we get to A to B and stop. It's always a test after test after test to improve it. Lots of different tweaks to get to the best result possible. So I can go over all these 15 tips in a lot more detail in future shows, but we're running over 5 minutes now, 6 minutes into the show, and I always like to try and keep them short. So the benefit really is to show how powerful you can make your business card by providing information that your new person that you met through networking can appreciate and value and use, rather than just being your name and email. A lot more ideas on that I can talk about in the future, but I hope that's been a mix of business card and how to write copy all in one show. So 2 birds with 1 stone. That's it. That's the great show. That's the end of the week. That's the 10th show. Really appreciate it. If you're not following on SoundCloud yet, please head over there and start following. It's a great platform for listening to my show and also lots of other shows and music. They're really getting heavily into podcasting now. Hopefully in the future we're going to be on iTunes and Stitcher, which is where I listen to a lot of my shows. So I look forward to reaching out with that good news. But until next time, thank you very much for listening, and cheerio.